This is Bobby with Renaissance Game Supply. So I wanted to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year coming up as well. And today, after all the festivities and all, I kind of took a break and came back in here, started working on the store a little bit, uploading new cards I got for Christmas and stuff. So I opened up 5 bundles, 3 of which from the newest Ixalan set, one from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and then the other one was Modern Horizons 2, I believe. Pretty sweet. That one there I pulled about 60, maybe $65 worth of cards out of that one, so that was pretty sweet. But anyway, I was scanning cards and I happened upon some pretty awesome little dinosaur cards, so I started swapping them out of my deck, and in doing so, I started pulling out some of the basic lands out of that, swapping them out with dinosaur lands that have, basic lands that had dinosaur art on them, or creatures. So this was one of the cards I took out. So this is a basic land from Rivals of Ixalan, and what I did not know was, as I was scanning this in, that this card was worth over $1. I mean, for a basic land, that's pretty good. And that's what I'm making this video about, is just these odd little basic lands that are worth $1 that I've been discovering as I scan through this 44,000 cards and taking apart decks or whatever. But anyway, Rivals of Ixalan, it's kind of old now, I guess, but still, I mean, $1 for a basic land. So I started digging through the collection. I found another one, so I actually had 2 of them. And then I found Mountains as well. So these are worth 75 cents a piece. I found a pair of those. So out of 44,000 cards, I've only found 4 Rivals of Ixalan basic lands. So then I got to dig in a little deeper, and I'm like, man, what is going on? Is this just not a common card type with that particular set? And it must be. I mean, and I've also noticed that these appear to be the same art. So maybe they only had 1 art for each basic land type. I don't know. I could go through to, you know, a couple of little spoiler sites, whatnot, kind of look at all the cards that were revealed for that. But I'll probably do that some other time. But anyways, I just kept digging through more and more basic lands. So I rolled through, you know, thousands and thousands of basic lands. And one of the other cards I saw that I already knew was over $1 was this one from Lorwyn. It's very colorful. Every time I've pulled these from collections, they've always sold. And then, of course, from the same set, very colorful Swamp. Looked at that one as well. That one was worth over $1. I think these are worth about $1.25 a piece. So I did not look through the back collection of basic lands for these. I just happened upon them. So at some point, I'll probably have to go through and dig for more of these. So just kind of a quick little recap here. If you have a bulk collection you're sitting on, you haven't gone through it for a few years, you might want to, because you can find cards like this and you'd be sitting on a pretty decent chunk of change. So just right here, that's $2. That's $2. That's $5 worth of cards, just in basic lands. And I'm not going to be playing with these, but somebody will. So dig through your bulk commons. Look through lands. I mean, a lot of people don't like to sell lands or buy lands, but I buy everything. Lands, tokens, it don't matter. And then sorry, just got a lot to say here. Also digging through there, I had pre-sorted all my lands into black border lands and white border lands. And as I was going through here, I noticed this little D symbol, and I've seen these before, and I knew it was a dual deck of some sort. Couldn't really remember. Again, I mean, I only started playing in 2014, and I think these came out in, yeah, 2001. So this is dating you for some of you out there. I mean, 2001. So these are the, I think, Garfield dual deck, Garfield versus Finkel or something like that, I believe, when I was looking it up. But anyway, these are kind of cool. They're all in very good shape. And I'll show you some of the artwork here. And when I was pulling these, I was like, this is all I've got. I mean, there's only like maybe 30 cards here. maybe a little more. There's some forest, and I haven't found any swamp. I haven't found any islands or anything, so maybe those decks didn't have those colors, I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of interesting that, you know, as I'm just happening along, digging through stuff, that I'm finding cards that are like, you know, not necessarily rare, but just, I think, collectible. I mean, these are pretty neat little cards. But I think some of those mountains are like 48 cents a piece. There's like 7 or 8 of them in there of the same artwork. But anyway, that's why I love digging through collections. You never know what you're gonna find. And then here's another little thing too, is Plains Chase anthologies. There was 4 of those that back in there, and those sets are hard to get, at least for me. Very hard to get. So you got Plains Chase anthology, Plains Chase 2012, which I only found 2, 44,000 cards, and I've only found 2 so far. And then building on top of that, here's the original Plains Chase. Oops, there, I'm covering up the symbol. And these lands are not super valuable, but I mean, out of 44,000 cards, I'm talking bulk vintage, bulk foil, bulk rare, bulk uncommon lands, bulk common basic lands. That teeny tiny little stack is only from that Plains Chase set. So I only think there's not even 10, there's 9 cards here. 9 cards out of that whole ass collection. So, but that's why I go through everything and I touch everything and I look it all up, because just curiosity gets me. So in doing all of that, at the same time I was sorting all that, I went ahead and pulled. Now these aren't super special by any means, but I still thought they have their place in the history, and I thought they were neat. So here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to dig it out. You have some large hands to hold some of this stuff. These are all, hold on, let me flip them over, from Revised. I'm a big old fat chunk of Revised basics. Now, a lot of you players out there are like, well, those are just Revised lands, I don't really care. But to me, as a collector and a player, and somebody who just appreciates the history of the game, not necessarily the antics that, you know, Hasbro or Wizards has pulled over the years, but just appreciating the game and the history behind it, these are kind of cool. Now, they're not, you know, Alpha Beta Unlimited cool, but to have that many, I don't know, there's probably 400, maybe 350, 400, 425 in there, somewhere in that range. And I'll probably do another video on these later. And these are so well played, as you can see when I show the sides here. You can see the smoke stains, dirt stains, whatever, right in here. And then you got some really nice ones right up in here. More nice ones up in there, and you got like a little strip there and some nice ones on the end. So there's definitely some lightly played ones in there. But overall, I didn't see them where they were like too badly damaged. I mean, they're probably damaged ones in there, don't get me wrong. There's heavily played, there's moderately played, so I gotta look at every one of them. But there's some in here that are just super nice. So anyway, I'm gonna be loading these up on the store here probably by tomorrow night. But something else that I thought was kind of interesting as I was going through these. Now, I haven't researched the exact difference between Unlimited and the Revised sets, but I do know that there was a difference between the tap symbols and whatnot, and that there's a difference between colors for like Beta and Alpha, and I believe Beta was the darker. I mean, if I'm wrong, you guys can go ahead and correct me on that, but this is something I found to be a little interesting too, is how some of these are just darker than others. I mean, look at the difference. They're just cool. So I mean, obviously probably printed at different times, probably printed from different places at the same time as well, but just thought it was kind of cool. And I'm gonna look at the difference between Unlimited and Revised and see what the actual difference is between the tap symbol and all that kind of stuff, and Well, I'm going to roll through here and see if I can find some unlimited. Thanks for watching.